It's the Real War Gamer here, and I am gonna take a look at Rebel Yell, Small Unit Tactics of the American Civil War. I believe this is a predecessor to Huzzah, but already I took a quick look at compared the rules real quickly, and I don't think that they're the same. They share a lot in common, but I don't think that Huzzah is a direct update or a direct reworking of Rebel Yell here. I don't think so. I'm going to treat them completely separate for now. Obviously, I see a lot of similarities, but I'm just going to set that aside in my mind. Now, I played Huzzah a few months ago, if I remember correctly. And I remember something stopped me. And I think it was not being 100% clear on the hits. So I'll show that for just a minute, and then here I just got Rebel Yell, just got in the mail yesterday, and I am ready to jump right in. Why am I saying all this? Because Rebel Yell, which frankly was true about Huzzah too. All right, so forget about Huzzah for a minute here. When I look at Rebel Yell here, this is one of those games, and there's like a good handful of these games where when I look them over, I think to myself, I've got to like this game, and I've got to like this game a lot. This has got to be right, exactly what I'm looking for, so on and so forth. And it doesn't always work out that way, so we'll see here. But there's so many things that make me think that I've got to like this game. Now, if I don't, I don't, and I will try more or less. I will put in more or less effort trying to get to a resolution of whether that's true or not. But yeah, this has so many things I like, and so I'm not going to delay. I want to see it in action. Again, I see the similarities to Huzzah, but hopefully, I don't know, there's something about Rebel Yell that will click better. I'll just say one more thing about Huzzah, and then we'll move on to Rebel Yell. Okay. In Huzzah, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, there they are, hit markers. So in Huzzah, I think you had like a front side full strength and a back side reduced strength, which, by the way, is as simple as that sounds. I'm really not a fan of that anymore. Just really not a fan of that, but that's not for now. In this game, I'm glad to see that it's not that case. In this game, the front side is called the standing to maneuver side, STM, and the back side is the standing to fire side, or STF. All right, so that's what it is in this game. And so then in Huzzah, where you had a full strength and reduced strength, I think, if I remember correctly, what got me is I could not become 100% convinced that the design was that a unit takes, and these are O hits, and these are O hits, 1 hit, 2 hit, looks identical, at least in practice, with Huzzah. Okay, so, but in Huzzah, I couldn't become convinced whether it was a unit takes 1 O hit, then it takes 2 O hits, then it takes a 3rd O hit, and this marker comes off and it's reduced. Then on the reduced side, it starts over again with reduced side plus 1 hit, reduced side plus 2 hits, and finally eliminated. I don't know. Of course, that makes a huge difference in the game, whether units basically have, 3 steps versus 6 or something like that. Something like doubling. In this game, it looks like, first of all, of course, there is no reduced side, And so here in black and white it says a unit takes 3 O hits and it's eliminated. So in this game it's 1 O hit, 2 O hits, and a third O hit eliminates the unit, and that's spelled out in black and white. Assuming that there are no later exceptions, changes, alterations, then I like that's clear. So if that was, I'm pretty sure that was the sticking point for me with Huzzah. Here it looks like it's straightforward how you do that, how you do these O hits, organization hits. So this gives me some hope that I can at least take a good look at Rebel Yell here. So I'm going to take a look at, as a matter of fact, I can, in the, oh yeah, I got to talk about rules. There is what they call a Module 1 scenario, Brawner's Farm. I'll make sure everything is out for that, and then we'll talk about the actual rule set themselves, because there are multiple ones. Okay, rules. Don't want to take a lot of time here, but the nature of the history of Rebel Yell means I do have to talk about this. So the game did come with the first, I guess what's called the first edition rules. It is the one that is, it is programmed play style. So for this Module 1 scenario, Brawner's Farm, I'm supposed to be able to use just the first, I think 4 pages of rules. 3, 4, 5, 6. Pages 3, 4, 5, and 6. It looks like it basically just covers moving and shooting, 1 formation. That's about it. Combat effects. Might have basic morale checks. Anyways. So do I use the first edition rules? Or do I use the second edition rules? Second edition rules I have, but yeah, I have them. They're available free online. They are basically, they're supposed to be the same rules as the first edition, just probably cleaned up. But more importantly, they're one consolidated set. So they're just one consolidated set of rules. They cover everything in a normal rules style. So there's no programmed instruction presentation at all in the second edition rules. The third option that I'm thinking of is playing with the second edition rules, but doing my own programmed progression by taking on using the second edition of rules, but only using the Module 1 game turn segment sequence from the first edition rules. Basically make up my own programmed progression. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try using the first edition. Basically, I've read a little bit online. I've heard some different opinions. I don't know which way to go. I don't have an inkling of which way I should go, which way is the best way to go. So I'm going to go ahead and try the first edition programmed instruction. Those first, pages 3, 4, 5, and 6. See how that works, because I can always use the second edition rules as reference, and I'll wind up with the second edition rules anyways. So I'll try the programmed approach here. We'll see how that works. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. Given the history of rules for this game, I thought I would mention that. So I am going to try the first edition, the rules that come with the game, the rules that some people say are so horrible. I don't know, maybe they are. I will find out. But so let's get started. I think it looks like per Brawner's Farm, Module 1 scenario, the Union is the first player, and we are using, definitely an abbreviated game turn sequence. We're going to be using, so it's going to be Union, or I'll skip player 1 and player 2. For here, it's player 1's Union, player 2 is Confederate. So it's going to be Union small arms fire, Confederate action, Union action, Confederate small arms fire, Union action, Confederate action, and then game turn. segments. Okay, so there's obviously no small arms fire. Well, I should say I'm assuming there's no, at least because of this row of woods, this is woods and light woods, because of this row of woods, at least because of this row of woods separating the Union line from the Confederate line, I'm assuming there's, wait a minute, this would be out of range anyways. Both sides are equipped with weapons M, muskets. I pulled one, I'm assuming this is right, I pulled one company from the Confederate brigade. Okay, they call it regiment. I'll just say regiment brigade. I pulled one company because the order of battle for the scenario says that the strength of the Confederate regiment brigade, and I mean that regiment / brigade, the strength is 9. So since these universal play pieces have 10 companies to the regiment brigade, and it gives the strength of the Confederates as 9, I took one away. So it's basically 9 Confederate companies to 10 Union companies. That's about it. So I think we're going to go to the next game turn segment, which is the player 2 action, which is in this case the Confederates. Okay, to cover basic movement here, and this is basic movement for this module 1. So the terrain effects chart breaks down movement costs for line, column, artillery, and leader. All units have 10 movement points, so the difference is only in the expenditure per terrain. I like that, by the way. But the first thing to note is that it looks like, even though this side is called standing to maneuver, and you flip it over standing to fire, which we're actually not using in this module 1 game, but this, even though it's got the guy standing there, the figure standing, this does not correspond to column formation, and this does not correspond to line formation. It looks like these are both, line. It looks like line is the formation, and standing to maneuver or standing to fire is a sub-formation of line. Okay, I only point that out because the terrain effects chart doesn't have standing to maneuver and standing to fire. It has line, column, artillery, and leader. So these are in line formation. We just happen to only be using the standing to maneuver side for this module 1. Okay, so this unit is going to move. As usual, as typical, 2 front hexes, only moving to the front hexes. The other 4 hexes are flank hexes. So I'm going to move forward into the woods there. That is a 4 for line formation, 4. Then we're going to go up the slope for +1, that's 5. And then the light woods is 3 for 8. 8 altogether, done. Okay. Then, what's that? Creek, okay. 6. Cost of stream. That's funny, the same table has creek up top and stream down below. Cost of stream, fence, slope, crest is for the hex side crossed. Okay. So this is 6 for the creek and 4 for the woods. 10. Okay. So 10. By the way, I should establish, I'm assuming we can move by stack. Stacking restrictions apply at the end of the move. Units may not skip obviously not skip hexes. The unit may always move at least 1 hex. player if units move. So during a player's action segment, the appropriate units may perform one action. In the Module 1, we only have 3 actions: move, fire, and rally. No, I'm not sure it even matters. I really don't know whether it matters. So 6, 4 is 10. 3. Oh, I guess they can't move any further. Interestingly, going up or down slope gives the penalty in line formation. That makes sense to me, because these are specific line formations. Makes sense to me. So 3, 4. 4. Okay. Now we go to player 1 actions or union actions. So before I move the union line here for this turn segment, I should point out in this game, it looks to me, you can tell that from the train effects chart. See if I get that. So yeah, so because this line and column, clear, marsh, woods, light woods, and creek, they're all the same. 2, 2, 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 6, 6. You only get the difference for column down here. No effect, and no effect means no additional cost. Move up or down slopes or cross rail fences. It's less cost to cross stone fences, and it is significantly cheaper to follow Pike Road Trail or thoroughfares in column formation, because line formation, basically line formation is not taking advantage of the thoroughfares at all, because that's other terrain. So basically that tells me that the column formation, which is really the column, it's column formation. Column formation in this game is really the road, quote unquote road marching column. So, and I don't think it's not really clear, but I assume we're only using line formation. I say that only because I don't see in the Module 1 rules here reference to any other formations. Not yet anyways. No, I don't. So until I see that in the Module 1 rules, I assume that we're using line formation only, which means that the union can't take advantage of this bit of, what is that? This bit of road. Okay. All right, so not in play, I guess. So we're really just moving through the woods here, light woods or regular woods. So we go 3, 6, 7 for the slope, 8, 9 for clear. All right, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess I have to stay there because of the creek there. Okay.